on people.
So when you see someone celebrating Charlie's murder, call them out. And hell, call their employer.
Hold on. The vice president wants me to try to get people fired from their jobs? First off, as a white woman, we've been doing that for years, okay? Stop appropriating our culture. But secondly, is this what we want? The vice president's job isn't to lead an online mob. The vice president's job is to... Okay, he doesn't really have a job, but you get my point.
Desi Lydic isn't just roasting Trump and JD Vance. She's holding a live masterclass in comedic demolition. One thrives on chaos. The other tries to intellectualize it. And together they've become America's most unhinged buddy film. Desi Lydic punchlines hit like precision strikes, slicing through their theatrics with surgeon-level sarcasm. What looks like political theater turns into stand-up material. It's not just mockery. It's a comedic autopsy of ambition meeting delusion and calling it destiny.
When the president travels overseas, it's important for them to project strength and dignity, although an uninvited insect made that a little harder for President Trump. Damn, girl, you got moves. What is this? Is he voguing? Ronnie, I'm sorry to interrupt, but Jordan couldn't be more wrong. JD Vance is a terrifying prospect.
Is it because of his views on women's rights?
Yeah, and also because he has a beard. I'm sorry, but I do not trust a man if I don't know where his...
And Desi Lydic starts where the circus curtain never closes, with Trump and JD Vance. The self-proclaimed dream team of dysfunction. Trump still thinks he's directing the reality show called America, while JD plays his backup dancer in denial. It's the sequel no one asked for but can't stop hate-watching, part sitcom, part meltdown. Trump flexes ego, JD rehearses relevance. Together, they prove you don't need a script when chaos writes itself.
But he's a very tough negotiator. That's not good.
Remember, call your doctor if your handshake lasts longer than 4 hours. But this is such a stark difference from how every other leader on this trip has interacted with Trump. Malaysia's throwing a concert for him. Korea's giving him crowns. Everyone's kissing his ass. Then she comes in like his mom forced him to have a play date with a weird kid.
And if you're enjoying this video, hit subscribe and ring that bell because this duo is turning politics into improv night. At the apocalypse. No structure, no sense, just ego wrapped in patriotism. Desi Lydic laughs because only in Trump's America could absurdity and ambition share the same campaign slogan. Trump, of course, hogs the spotlight. The man treats power like a mirror. Everything reflects back to him, even failure, especially failure.
Talker, beards hide things. Blackheads, whiteheads, lack of chin, too much chin. And he's open about all of his horrific policies. So if that beard is hiding something, it must be really bad.
Oh, this is ridiculous. Beards do not hide anything.
Oh, really? Not even a Sharpie dick that never fully...
Desi Lydic says Trump's like a magician repeating the same trick. Same rabbit, same hat. Same applause cue. Each new revelation is last week's rerun in a shinier suit. He doesn't change, he just rebrands disaster as nostalgia. And there's JD Vance, nodding like a student lost in a lecture where the professor keeps rewriting history mid-sentence. It's not politics, it's performance art with props and applause signs.
About how their greeting was. The bigger question was what happened at that meeting. Trump said that China has been eating America's lunch for decades, and this was his chance to seal a major trade deal that finally makes things right.
President Trump back on Air Force One after his meeting with Chinese leader Xi Jinping, where the leaders agreed to a tentative truce in the trade war. That brings tariffs and other measures back to where they were before recent escalations.
He's basically reset the clock to January.
And he used to be the critic. Now he's the hype man waving pom-poms for chaos. Desi Lydic can't decide what's funnier, Trump believing he's historic, or JD pretending he's part of history. JD's transformation is like watching self-respect speedrun to extinction. The man who once analyzed power now applauds it for likes. He's gone from author to echo, from critic to commercial break.
Desi back with another installment of Republican beauty trends. Y'all have been flooding my DMs to talk about JD Vance and his fierce eye makeup, so let's get into it.
As a reminder, I am not a makeup expert or even someone who really regularly washes her face. Now, if we look closely, we can see that Vance has lined the inner corner of his eyes with a dark black. That could be to make his baby blues pop, or it could be to reflect the dark black part of his soul that he...
Once upon a time, JD wrote about saving the American dream. Now he's the footnote proving it flatlined. Desi says he didn't sell out. He just exchanged integrity for an all-access MAGA pass. The rides are fixed, the logic's broken, and the souvenir shop only sells denial. Trump, meanwhile, is still rebooting himself. Every rally, every scandal becomes a greatest hit, every rant a remix. Desi calls it the world's longest-running one-man show, now featuring JD as the silent understudy.
You have no idea what you're announcing, do you? You're just going to go into the next room and be like, guys, I promised them something big. Does anyone have anything good? I have 2 to 5 days, and don't say Jell-O shots, Pete. Next time, just come out when you're ready to say the announcement. We don't need a pre-announcement. This is worse than my cousin announcing that they're trying for a third.
Desi Lydic imagines their campaign meetings as improv sessions gone wrong. Trump tossing slogans like confetti, JD scribbling notes like they're sacred texts. Trump rants about greatness, JD nods like he's witnessing a TED Talk from a parallel universe. The chemistry is delusion meets desperation. Desi Lydic calls it a motivational seminar for denial addicts. JD's speeches sound like a retweet. Brought to life, recycled energy, borrowed conviction. It's ventriloquism without the skill. Trump whispers, JD echoes, together. They've turned nostalgia into a national tour, the Make America Rewind special.
Like Trump's accidental dance moves are way more impressive than his intentional ones. Very weird. Anyway, I do understand why he was so frantic. That mosquito was also asking Trump about Jeffrey Epstein. Now, to be clear, Trump was not just wasting time playing golf. He was also wasting time...
Trump could talk for 2 hours and forget the topic halfway through. It's theater without direction, grievance dressed as gospel. Desi says he's the motivational speaker for people who want validation, not solutions. JD nods like a disciple decoding divine nonsense. The orbit is tragic comedy, JD circling Trump like a planet that forgot gravity. Desi laughs, Trump doesn't mentor, he absorbs. Everyone in his circle starts ambitious and ends anonymous. JD's loyalty feels like an audition for irrelevance.
His eyeliner is clearly an all-day wear, from the Senate floor to CNN. So I'm going to guess he's using either Maybelline Eye Stick in the shade Faux Hillbilly or Revlon Super Smudge in the shade Business Ewok. If I were Vance, I would actually recommend putting the liner under the waterline to create more of a doe-eyed look. But with this technique, he's serving more of an eye support mask.
Desi Lydic says Trump's speeches are like watching a thesaurus malfunction. Big words, tiny thoughts, all dressed in volume. He preaches unity while peddling division. Talks truth while selling confusion. It's linguistic cardio, lots of motion, no direction. Desi Lydic calls JD the valedictorian of Trumpism, fluent in contradiction, majoring in flattery. Trump's brand of leadership is noise over nuance. His motto, authority through acoustics. Every grievance is gospel, every failure a plot twist. JD claps like he's training for gold in synchronized agreement. It's choreography disguised as conviction.
The president capping off his trip by officially opening his latest golf course today in Scotland.
Let's go. 1, 2, 3.
Just a reminder, this man is still the president of the United States. There's a lot going on in the world, and he's at a ribbon-cutting ceremony to promote his golf course.
JD's playing along, even as his identity evaporates. Desi Lydic calls it the Great Disappearing Act. Watch integrity vanish before your eyes. He used to challenge chaos, now he just recites it. In Trump's orbit, individuality is treason. It's cosplay politics, pretending to fix what they broke. Desi Lydic says if self-awareness were currency, both would be bankrupt. Trump doesn't lead. He performs. JD's just the backup dancer at a political concert that never ends. It's governance rewritten as reruns.
I just want to make sure, is it really good news?
It's going to be a truly earth-shattering and positive development for this country and for the people of this country.
Earth-shattering, wow. Okay, as long as I don't have to clean it up, I guess I'm in. Just tell me when exactly to tune in and I will clear my schedule.
And that announcement will be made either Thursday or Friday or Monday before we leave.
Desi Lydic says JD's fluency in Trump is tragic. Every word sounds like an echo. The man who once chased truth now treats it like a threat. It's not growth, it's erosion. Each talking point erases a piece of who he was. Trump, meanwhile, still lives inside his own mythology, the eternal hero wronged by reality. JD props up what he once critiqued. Trump swims in the swamp he swore to drain. Together, they've built the perfect echo chamber of absurdity. One needs attention. The other needs validation.
This is the perfect time for President Trump to meet the moment with his famous deal-making skills and master negotiating to end this shutdown.
President Donald Trump currently on his way to Asia for a high-stakes tour of the region.
Okay. Government will be here when you get back, maybe. Boys trip!
And the irony, Desi says, is that they both think they're rewriting history. Trump thinks he's redeeming himself. JD thinks he's defining a generation. But history doesn't care about feelings. It cares about facts. Desi says textbooks won't remember their speeches, just their punchlines. Trump will be the ego that became entertainment. JD, the case study in selling out. Together, they're not a movement, they're a marathon sketch that never ends. Desi laughs that Trump's obsessed with mirrors because they always vote for him. JD copies every move, forgetting charisma can't be cloned. Trump sold ego as empire. JD bought delusion as purpose. Desi ends with the knockout. History doesn't honor noise. It honors irony. Trump became the punchline. JD became the echo.